Cindy Lauper, loved working with her, and Debbie Harry, Blondie, the whole crew,
Yeah.
amazing people.
Jeez.
Yeah, and
How did you get into the music industry, man? I mean, I don't really know a lot of.
Well, I have 3 siblings named Wayne, Greg, and Julian McFarlane, and the 4 of us. I was 23, or no, I was 24. My brother Wayne played in some local bands in Minneapolis, and he also another band in Madison. And he was coming home one day, and he goes, it's time for me to start my own band.
Mm.
And I said, yeah, I'll be your manager. I had no idea what I was talking about. Yeah.
How old were you guys again?
I was 23, 24.
Okay. Yeah.
And this was in 1983. So we started. All right. So,
Wow.
and so the promoter and me, so I go, okay, I'm gonna start this band. How do I get them known? So what did I do? I made a festival called the First Midwest Reggae Sunsplash, and I got the biggest band in the Midwest called Shangoya and a bunch of these other little bands, and put on a festival at Concordia College, and on August 14, 1983. And that's where I introduced my own band, Ipso Facto.
Wow.
Okay. And then I, on the poster somewhere, it has all these bands. And then at the bottom, it says introducing Ipso Facto, and I was the promoter, and I talked the college into letting me do it on their baseball field. And, I had no idea what I was doing, but, and then that's started, and we started making tapes. And one of the coolest things that happened, like I said, oh man, this is easy. So about 5 months into that, I sent a tape over to this, it's called Jam Productions in Minneapolis, and I get a call that says, "Hey, Joe Strummer heard your tape, and would you guys want to open up for the Clash?" And so, hell yeah, And I didn't even ask how much money it was. They actually got, we actually got paid. That was our biggest payday. It was a whole $1,000. And so we were at the St. Paul Civic Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, and we opened up for the Clash.
Wow.
And that started our, because all these college kids were there.
Yeah.
And we start playing, Mankato State and Fargo, and then Grinnell College in Iowa City, or Grinnell, Iowa, and then the Iowa City, what was it, the place called the Crow's Nest, I think, is in Iowa City, and then Ames, Iowa, and then Madison, Wisconsin. They had the Rathskeller down below, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were gotten that circuit, and
there was a lot of Rathskellers back in the day.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I was from upstate New York, and there was a Rathskeller. There was a basement one too. I don't know if it was owned by the same people, but it seemed like every college town had a Rathskeller.
The Rathskeller.
Yeah.
And we just started playing at a lot of colleges and bars, and and started making our way from Minnesota. It was easier to go east than it was to go west. So because the cities were closer together.
Right.
And so we were, and then it was easy to go from Iowa to Kansas City over to St. Louis, St. Louis back up to Chicago, and then Madison, Wisconsin, and back home. That would be a circuit, and so so that's and then we put out a couple records. We got signed to Epic Records in 1989. Our record on Epic never got released. We were signed, and then to this day, I don't know the reason why my band got dropped. It could be that I just wasn't a good enough manager, or I don't know. But our record never came out on Epic, and we put out like 4 or 5 records ourselves, on small labels and stuff. But our big label record never came out. So But with that, after a while, we were doing really well. We opened up for the Clash. We toured with Tracy Chapman. We did the Red Wine tour with UB40. We played dates with the Kinks and Cheap Trick and all the stuff, and Chili Peppers and Poi Bar, Boy Pondering. I can't remember. Anyway, we were out there, and then the four of us finally just decided to be brothers again instead of business partners. and
Probably smart move after a while.
It was, but for me and this business now, I really have to thank them. They gave me the opportunity to learn business, and be able to make mistakes without getting fired,
You can't fire you, right? They couldn't fire you.
I'm your little brother. You can't fire me. So I, when I get a chance to talk about them, I like to praise them, because I think without their letting me step on their backs to get to here, it wouldn't be possible. I love them so dearly, and then, and one of the things that, they, were, a lot of people come back and go, God, that band was so ferocious. They were amazing. But, just, for some reason, we couldn't transfer our live thing to the tape as well, So,
there's not an easy business. You're going from one not easy business to another not easy business.
And then after that, I started, just out of necessity, I started, tour managing, and I ran a club for a while, and I did events. I went to South Africa, and worked, like right after apartheid, went down there and helped put a jazz festival together, and and I got involved in sound and lighting, and building stages and all that stuff. It was all, I was a production manager for like Taste of Minnesota and Taste of Colorado, where you'd have 60, 70 bands and 5 or 6 stages, and you're putting all that together. And so just all these different things. And then, touring, Michelle Branch, Lifehouse, I did a little bit with Prince. Actually, I never toured with Prince. I just helped do some stuff at Paisley Park, and stuff. And what else? Cindy Lauper, Blondie, Margaret Cho, Michael McDonald, Dwight Yoakam.
Jeez,
I'm missing somebody in there. But,
you just name dropped like 30 of the biggest names, in the history, man. That's super cool. Well, it's easy to say you've been living a very exciting life.
It's if I fall over today, I'm okay. But this mission is the story is not done yet.